Hey everybody, thanks for joining us again on Realty Check. We're still in this big homeowner series where we're talking about all the things that you need to know when you're a homeowner and renovation projects, big and small, what to do when things go wrong, what to do when things break, what homeowners need to know about maintaining their home, redoing their home, and everything in between. So we have a great topic today, which a lot of you guys know a little bit about or want to know more information about, is what is a home warranty, what does a home warranty cover, and why is it important to have one on your home? In real estate sales, sometimes people will get a home warranty in their purchase, but they don't even know really what it's for or what it does. So we're going to talk a lot about that today, and we have our guest with us from HomeServe Warranty, Samantha Giacomino, and that is a hard last name to say. So we are, Samantha's here with us today, and she's going to tell us all about warranties and why they're important and what they do, what they're good for. So thank you for joining us today, and Samantha, we look forward to hearing everything about this. First off, tell us a little bit about yourself and your company and how you got into this business and what got you started.
Absolutely. So yes, my name's Sam. I've been with HomeServe Home Warranty since May of last year. I came over from Title, actually, doing business development, and am now with Home Warranty. I've absolutely loved it, even though we've had a little bit of a different year with the pandemic and everything. It's been great. Business has been good, as you know, for a pandemic. But HomeServe has been around for 13 years. We originally were AHG Home Warranty, and HomeServe USA is a huge company, repair company that used to go directly to the consumer to get business, and decided they wanted to get into the real estate side of things. So they bought out some smaller home warranty companies, and here we are.
Awesome. Awesome. And yes, it has definitely been a crazy year in real estate. We've been like up, down, all over the place. So it's been nuts. But home warranty business, I'm sure, has been extremely busy. Nuts. Yeah, extremely busy. So what does a home warranty cover? What are the things that people, if they get a home warranty on their house, what are things that they cover? I often get the question from people of like, what's the difference between a home warranty and homeowner's insurance? Or people will call me like, something goes wrong, a tree falls on the house. They're like, do I call the warranty? Do I call the insurance? What do I do here? So can you explain the difference of what it covers and why it's different from homeowner's insurance?
Absolutely. So that's a great question. I get that question a lot as well. So a tree falling on the home, homeowner's insurance. Any kind of natural disaster is going to be your homeowner's insurance. Any damage to your personal property is homeowner's insurance. So home warranty kind of fills that gap for the actual items. So the AC, refrigerator, heating, water softener, all of those types of things is what your home warranty. And it's not for, you know, if there was a fire, it's the natural wear and tear. So your home warranty is going to cover things that we're already expecting to happen.
So we're talking about the mechanics of the home that could break down, not accidents.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep. Perfect. Okay. And with when a home warranty, like when you have like home warranty coverage and it covers all these certain items, do the items like, when you buy a home, you get a home inspection, right? Mm-hmm. And of course, I know there's a rule that, you know, you cannot, if they're broken during the home inspection, they're not going to be covered under the warranty. But say, let's just take, for instance, a water heater, okay? Water heater was working fine during the home inspection. Buyer has a home warranty. They move into the house, and within a few weeks, this water heater just goes out. You know, it hit the last of its limits or life or whatever happened. Is that covered? Like, because no one really knew when it was going to go out. So would something like that be a covered item?
Absolutely. That is what home warranty is for. And there's no age-based restrictions. So you can move into a 20-year-old home. Maybe it's been vacant for the last 2 years, you know, so nobody's been there. So now all of a sudden they turn on that, you know, that water heater starts working and it just has no life left in it. That is what we cover. But I love that you mentioned pre-existing, because yes, if your home inspection report comes back and there's things that aren't quite, you know, when working order, those things are not going to be covered. No pre-existing.
And obviously they'll know when they come out, you know, if the
Absolutely.
AC's like hasn't worked in the last 10 years, it has dust all on it, or, you know, whatever.
Absolutely.
They're going to come out and be like,
Absolutely.
really, this thing's not
For
working.
sure.
It wasn't working.
Yes.
But AC is a big thing. I'm sure that that's probably a very common thing that you guys get calls for, because we live in Vegas, and I just feel like there's like this thing that like every summer everyone's AC breaks down, or not everyone, but there's always seems to have AC problems during the summer, no matter how great it's running.
Absolutely. And our HomeServe Home Warranty, actually, we include tune-ups, annual tune-ups.
Do you?
With our policies. Absolutely. They are seasonal, because right now our vendors are so busy with AC issues.
Repairs.
So we don't do the annuals during the summer, but we absolutely offer them in November, December. For annual tune-ups.
So to make sure that your unit's running efficiently and you don't have any surprises when it comes time for the next season, you get that tune-up in place, and that way you know that every's going to be running when it's time to kick in the heat, or kick on the air. Yeah, it's you know, the last thing that you want to happen is, you know, that new season comes and you actually need the heater or the AC working, and it doesn't work.
It doesn't, especially when it's 120.
Yeah,
right. It's
the worst time to find out.
Here. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like when it comes to a home warranty, the way that I think of things is that I've owned my home for years. I still have a home warranty on it. I renew it every year, because if my AC breaks down, I don't want to like pull out, you know, I was going to say the phone book, but that's like old school, right? I don't even know if they have phone books anymore. But, you know, I don't want to go to Google or go whatever, call around trying to find an AC contractor, not only that's available, but, you know, they'll charge you whatever price to diagnose it, and you don't even know if that's going to include a fix. And then you never know what you're going to get. You know, who's going to come out? Are they going to gouge you? Are they going to do all this stuff? When you have a home warranty, you don't have to worry about any of that. You just call, you place the order, and you guys do all the work behind the scenes to make sure that we have a reliable contractor show up, and it's a guaranteed price.
Right, absolutely. Licensed, bonded, insured is huge. And all of our vendors, we do background checks on, and we guarantee our service, which is something not all the companies do for the amount of time that we do. We guarantee our repairs for a year.
Oh, wow.
Which is huge.
So
if we come out and fix something and it breaks again for whatever reason, you or your clients aren't paying that $75 service fee over and over again for the same fix.
Yeah, and that's a big important point as well. $75. Like, you know, it's just it's the peace of mind of having a warranty, and it's $75 to get somebody out there.
Right.
And it's whatever contractor is necessary. I mean, you call the company and you're like, hey, this is broken. They figure out what kind of contractor needs to come there. You don't have to worry about all the mechanics of it. So that's what I think is amazing about home warranties. Now, when you purchase a home, do you have to have a home warranty?
You don't have to. Absolutely. Homeowners insurance is something, you know, your clients have to have. Home warranty, you don't, but it absolutely helps with the unexpected out-of-pocket costs that can be pretty hefty. A new AC is not cheap by any means.
No.
And so definitely getting that home warranty. And back when it was more of a buyer's market, the sellers would actually usually pay for it.
Yeah.
Now we're seeing a lot of realtors are gifting it to their clients as something or the buyers are buying it on their own.
Yeah. It's just added, when you order a home warranty, there's a spot on your purchase contract that determines, you know, if the home warranty is going to be included in the sale, and if whoever it's part of the negotiation process, whoever's paying for this home warranty, it's itemized on the contract of who's paying for it, whether it's buyer or seller. And in that case, it gets ordered through escrow. So you're not, say the warranty's $500 for the year. You're not writing a check for $500. This is all ordered through escrow, and it's added to your cash to close or your closing cost amount. So again, in different types of market, if you get seller's credits for your closing costs, that can be covered in your home warranty as well. Your home warranty can be covered in that as well. So there's definitely options for that. My recommendation to people out there is get a home warranty when you purchase a home. I mean, it's you never know that what's going to happen. You haven't lived in the home. Like if you live in your home, you've lived there for a year, you'll know like this, this sink might be working great during the home inspection, but when you run it for an hour, it starts to act wonky or something like that. Like you never know until you live in the house really how everything's operating in it. And a home inspector can do their job and inspect a home, but they're there for an hour, 2 hours. They're not there. They're not living in the home. They're not using these items every day, and that can make a big difference.
100%. Absolutely. Yeah. If a toilet's running, you don't know if the water's been off for how long, and the way the toilet's running or the plumbing. Yeah. Because our home warranty, it covers AC, heating, all the major appliances, plumbing, and electrical. Yeah. And that's just standard with our top policy. So you get quite a bit of coverage and it's relatively inexpensive, I think. Yeah. For a year.
For a year's coverage.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have different price ranges for these plans. Of course. Yeah. And so a standard will include the basics. Does your standard include appliances, or is that an upgrade?
Does. Nope, it does cover appliances, but like our standard plan doesn't include the washer and dryer. Okay. So between the difference in price for our standard plan to our premier plan, it's ultimately a $50 difference, but right now I can actually do our top plan for $500, which is only $25 from our standard plan.
Oh, wow.
And you get the garage door opener, you get the washer and dryer, you get so many extra things for an extra $25 that I'm like, why would you not do that? Right.
And that's $500 for the year.
For the year.
That's a whole year's coverage.
Yes.
And then when that year is up, they can choose to renew if they want to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which when you're looking for a home warranty, that is a question I think you should ask. I get a lot of my realtors will ask me, well, what's your second year? Because Sam, that first year's, is a really, really competitive pricing. Our second year for that same premier plan only goes to $595. And it doesn't matter how many service calls you've put in. We don't fire our clients for requesting service repairs.
I've heard of that a lot. Yeah.
And that second year will jump up
tremendously in some cases. I've seen that happen where like the first year is introductory $500, $600 a lot in some cases, and then they go to renew the second year and they're like, well, we had so many service calls and your AC unit's old and all these different things, and now it's going to be $1,200 for the second year, and it's like crazy. It's like crazy. Yeah, then it doesn't make sense anymore. No. And the buyers are like, no way. So you have a flat fee price even for renewals.
Absolutely.
That's great to know. That is,
and it's under $600.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's $50 a month.
It is.
Yeah. Did you offer payment plans for a month, or is it a whole year that they pay in advance?
So for your first year, for that introductory price during the real estate transaction, it's all up front. But that's generally because, like you mentioned, it's paid through escrow.
Yeah.
But yes, for the following years, we absolutely offer the monthly payments.
Oh, that makes it easier on the buyers.
Makes it super easy.
Not one lump sum that they have to pay all at once. So
no contracts. You can cancel at any time.
Oh, wow.
Which is great.
Yeah, that is great. That is great. Now, what about, can anybody purchase a home warranty? So what if somebody right now, they bought a house and they didn't really understand what a home warranty was, so they waived the coverage, or they didn't have a home warranty included in their home when they purchased. But now, for me, years ago, and this was like years ago in our last house, we had to replace an AC, and it was a roof-mounted AC, so it had to have a crane and all this crazy stuff, right? It cost $8,000. And after that, I was like, wow, this is never happening again. We're getting a home warranty because why? You're like, what options are this? Who can, where can we relieve this cost or whatever? Right. But yeah, it's substantial. So after that, we put a home warranty in place because that just seemed to make more sense. So what about people that, maybe in a home right now and have experienced that where they've had to call, someone to fix something and realize how much of a hassle it is just to find someone to repair, to do a repair, or to, going through different contractors and people that don't show up and all of these different things. And they say, no, I don't want to deal with this anymore. There's got to be a better solution out there. And now they've decided they want a home warranty, but they're not in the middle of a real estate purchase. So can they add one later?
Absolutely. They absolutely can. If it's within the first 30 days of buying the home, they can still get the real estate transaction policy, and there's no wait. If you are a current homeowner, it's going to be that $595 for our top plan, and there is a 30-day hold for service calls.
Okay.
And so that's just kind of the insurance thing. Again, you can't get the insurance after you get in a car accident, right?
Right.
And so that just kind of
makes sure that nothing's already broken at the time that you get the policy. And that is also, I think, a note to be taken for everybody out there is that you do get a special discount, the $500 pricing for buying it during your real estate transaction or 30 days after. So that's definitely great to go through your realtors and get those home warranties ordered. And they're painless to order too. If you're using a realtor or doing it during a transaction, you just, for most cases, like for us, on my team, the buyers just say, hey, I want this warranty. We send them the brochures. I want this warranty. I want this coverage. And we place the order for them. So it's no pain. They don't have anything to worry about. It's just done. It's in place. And we send them the copy of their policy at closing so they know who to call if something were to go wrong. Yeah. And that coverage in a real estate transaction is immediate.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's not, and that happens. Things break. Like, sometimes after you move in, they just break. So it's like Murphy's Law, right? It just happens. So that is definitely a good thing that they have the option and they have it in place for that. Now, if somebody is already wanting to own a home or they already own a home and they want to put it in place because they didn't have one, they just contact you directly to order, or how do they do that?
They can still contact me directly, and I will get it ordered for them. I like to be part of the transaction. We do have online. You can go to HomeServe, to check out things. But I am the Nevada Regional Sales Rep, and so I am a great contact for you, for your clients, for our homeowners here. So if anything, if you need help with anything, if a vendor was supposed to reach out to you and they haven't yet, I'm very hands-on with my community of people, and I always tell my realtors, reach out to me, let me know how I can help. I'm not the service team, but I've got a great relationship with our service team. Right. And so if anything, feels like it's going sideways or I'm always right there ready to step in.
Yeah, so. And that's great. It's great to know you have someone to contact, right? Because you're just like stuck out there in the world looking for help. And especially when things go wrong, you don't want to not have, someone that can help guide you through what's happening. Now, I know with warranties, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm just going to throw some numbers out here that just my past experience, right? So with warranties, there are sometimes things that are not covered.
Absolutely.
So there's kind of a rule that if you can't fix it, it needs to be replaced. But sometimes in a total replacement, there's non-covered items. Like, for instance, I had years ago, I had a warranty and a water heater needed to be replaced. And those are what, $2,500 to replace a full water heater, because you have to pull permits and all that stuff like that. I don't know what was covered or what wasn't covered. All I know is that I paid $300, and it was more than the $75.
Right.
But it was because of the things that weren't covered. But to me, $300 was a lot better than $25.
Absolutely.
So I was very happy with that $300. So that's typical with all warranties?
That is absolutely typical. First off, when I do get when somebody orders through me, I'm able to send you or your client our policy information, and I always send the link with the terms and conditions, just because it is very clear in what is covered, what is not. And also, in your case, it may have not been that something wasn't covered. It could have been the benefit limit. All of our items have benefit limits attached to them. So like the refrigerator has a $2,000 benefit limit. So if you have a Sub-Zero fridge that costs $5,000, you know, just again, throwing out numbers, and we're replacing it, we'll replace up to that benefit limit minus any repairs that have been done that past year or whatnot. And then you'd come out of pocket the rest.
Okay.
But again, $300 is a heck of a lot better than $25, right?
Absolutely.
And that's always what I tell people. It's not the end all be all, but it absolutely helps with those unexpected out-of-pocket costs.
Right, and then on your policy, it'll show the benefit limits for each item.
Yep, is in that terms and conditions. That's why I send, and please read the terms and conditions. I don't want you to not read them. I want you to read them. The more that our homeowners and our, my realtors don't have to be the know-it-all in home warranty, that's what I'm here for. But if you have that basic understanding, if you know that there is a benefit limit, you can let your clients know. Because if the homeowner thinks that, oh, well, all I'm ever gonna have to do is pay that $75, then that one time that they have to come out of pocket $300, even though originally it would have been $25, they're going to be angry, right? And I don't want my realtors angry. I don't want our homeowners angry. I want them to completely, and fully understand their policy and the benefits. It has great benefits if you truly understand what it covers and doesn't.
And what are the benefit limits on AC units?
So AC unit is $3,000 for the year.
Okay.
And we have there's no number, we don't only cover 2. Some people have 3 AC units. It's still that $3,000 coverage for the year. So, I mean, it's
across all the units.
Across all the units, yep.
Okay.
And so I knock on wood every time. Generally everybody's units don't go out at the same time. It'll be one, and then, the next year, maybe the next one.
Yeah. Can they add additional coverages on it?
We don't have additional coverage add-on right now for it, but that is something to think about that I can, throw out to management. If people have it.
They add for additional units or something like that. Yeah.
I like it, Trish. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just You've been doing this a while.
Yes, for sure. So what about the, when it comes to like your components, your coverages, your things that you have, what extras do you have? Like you mentioned tune-ups are like something that you guys throw in there. I know sometimes there's different things like pest control or rekey services or anything like that. Do you have any of those like additional options that are not really breakdowns, but services?
So rekey is also included in our policy. When you're getting it at real estate transaction, we offer your clients a free service call, a free first service call.
Oh, wow.
Which can be used for rekey, or if they don't care to rekey, they can save it for their first, but that's something nice.
That's huge, because when anybody, no matter who you are, what home you bought, how nice the sellers are, it doesn't matter, right? You're getting a house that has keys that were somebody else's, and their brothers, their cousins, their sisters, their housekeepers.
Dog sitter, the babysitter.
Anybody can have a key to that property. Right. So these rekey services, so many people will overlook them. They're in their warranty. They have it at closing. Usually it's $75, but you said you guys offer yours at no cost for the first call.
Absolutely.
So that's awesome. So it's free. And you'll come out and you'll rekey the doors. You'll give them a new fresh set of keys. So if they have like 5 keys to open the front door, which how many times have we seen that? Like where there's like, oh my gosh, how are you ever going to remember that there's like all these different keys and you lose one and one bolt's locked, and that's just crazy. How do people live like that?
Absolutely. So that is something that's already standard. I know you asked about extras, but since you mentioned rekey, I wanted to throw that in.
That's awesome.
But for additional add-ons, we've got the swimming pool and spa. We have water softener. For people that have septic, we do septic, the well pumps. And one of my favorite add-ons, back when it was buyer's market and the sellers were throwing out extra money for these home warranties.
Take anything.
Yes, but we have the water service line, gas line, and sewer line that goes in your front yard.
Okay, so that's a big deal when it happens. It's $80 to add that
on. Yes,
that's good, and that's a big deal when it happens, because that's one of those things that homeowners insurance doesn't cover.
No.
You would think. I mean, I've been in a situation where I've come across people that have encountered this, where that line breaks or bursts, and it can happen, and they're like, that's not even my line. That's the city's line. Why am I paying for it?
Right.
And the city's like, yeah, it's your line until from the point it hits your house.
Right.
So if
it's on your property.
Yeah, if it's in the street, they'll cover it.
Yeah.
But if it is on the part of the line that hits your house, that is not that's not their problem. That's yours.
Right.
And that can be costly.
It can.
Yeah.
Our neighborhood, there was like 4 of us included. Every house in our neighborhood had to, when it was built, they put a tree in the front yard.
Yeah, because it was nice and cute and small.
Right.
Yeah.
And we live in Vegas, and we don't have huge front yards. Well, the tree roots wrapped around our water lines. So I kid you not, within a 6-month period, 4 of us just on my street alone were getting people out ripping up the front yard to fix these water lines.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing about trees is be very careful where you put them because they're always cute when they're small. Then it's the type of tree. They grow massive and they outgrow their space and their roots are so invasive. And I've seen recently a tree, it was a picture, I think it was on social media, but it was a listing or from a home inspection or someone that someone posted. But the tree was close to the house. Well, I'm sure when it was planted, it wasn't that close to the house, but it grew to be close to the house. And it was breaking through the wall of the inside of the house.
It messes with your foundation and everything. That's why we do palm trees, because the roots grow down. And because our houses are on top of each other here, we've got all these tract homes, it doesn't mess with our foundation or the walls or our pipes or anything.
Yeah, I did. When in my house, I like kind of researched all of the trees and their root types to make sure nothing was really invasive that's around there. Because if it is, it's got to go. I just don't want, damage from roots is
awful.
Yeah. And that is not home warranty. So
that is not.
That is not home warranty. If you end up with root damage, it could be homeowner's insurance, may or may not. That's really something that you'd have to check at the time because there's definitely loopholes and limits of coverage when it comes to homeowner's insurance as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm not the know-it-all in homeowners, but the basics. I do know the basics of it.
Yeah. I do know if a tree falls on your house, probably going to be covered.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's a good thing. And we get, every once in a while, we get these like little Vegas tornadoes.
Right? It's crazy.
And then you see all these trees rooted up everywhere. It's crazy.
Right.
Yeah, so now when people are, if they're out there looking, definitely, it sounds like HomeServe basically stands apart from everybody else, so that's good. I like the customer service aspect. I like having somebody to contact. That always means a lot. I have in the past dealt with like larger companies where it felt like you're kind of lost in the scheme of everything. They have great names, they have great, whatever out there, but they're so big it's hard to get that like service that you need. So I personally, myself, I prefer smaller. Not only what makes HomeServe stand apart from other warranties, but if people are out shopping for home warranties and they're trying to decide what company they want to use, what are the things that they really should ask or look for in that? I mean, I feel like the buyers should not, I see it happen all the time where they just pick whatever warranty, or they don't even pick the warranty. They're just like, yeah, whatever's on there we'll take. But I feel like they should do a little bit of research. And what kind of things should they look for when they're doing that research?
I mean, so first and foremost, I always tell my realtors, tell your clients to call the local rep. Because ultimately, when things hit the fan, I mean, you're never going to hear from your clients if everything's going great, right? But what if they're not going great? Can they get a hold? Is there even a local rep that they can call and get a hold of and talk to?
Yeah.
So that's always my first. Call and see who answers the phone, because that's going to be one of your number ones.
Yeah, because when there's a problem, if you call someone and they don't return your call in a week, then maybe that's not who you want to have for your service.
Absolutely. That calling for pricing, great that this is the first year price, but what is that second year, third year going to cost the client, because people get comfortable. So you don't want to have to change the second year in, especially if you are happy. But if there's a difference between, an under $600 policy with the same great coverage, and you're going to be charged $900 the following year. I mean, look at those benefit limits. What are the benefit limits for all of the covered items, right? Because again, that's huge. Do they guarantee their work? You know, or if every 30 days, you know, if your ice machine breaks and they come out and fix it, and then 35 days later it breaks again, are you paying that $75?
Yeah, because someone didn't fix it right.
Correct.
Or yeah,
you know, so.
Absolutely.
Guaranteeing work is huge. And again, those are things that are going to come out of your client's pocket. So we know how much people are putting out to get into these homes lately, right? Whatever can save you, you know, in the end.
Yeah.
I feel like that's who you'd want to, right? Who would you want to choose?
Right. No, I definitely would want whoever's going to offer me peace of mind and no hassle. Like the thing that drives me crazy is if spending time on hold or like getting the runaround or like making someone like having to wait forever for someone to call you back.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm busy. I don't have time for that.
Right.
So a lot of people are. And that's just, to me, that stands apart from everything else in importance. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the reliability of the company. So another interesting story, I guess, is many years ago, before I was even in the real estate industry, I had a home warranty that I don't know where I found them online. I don't even remember how I came across
the Yellow Pages.
Right, Yellow Pages probably. It was a long time ago. I don't know how I came across them, but I did. I paid them and everything like that. And gosh, I think when I look at prices now, I think I paid them $1,000 for the year. And so the company was totally not legit. I didn't know. I did, they looked legit. They had a website. I talked to someone, customer service and everything. And they had, I had called them on 3 different occasions, and no one had ever come out on any of the occasions that I called for a service call, but they denied the call or the claim. And it was basic things that my old house had 2 water heaters. So, I'd called on 2 different occasions for the water heaters, and they're like, oh, well, that part's not covered. And I was like, okay, there's obviously things that aren't covered or whatever. So, by the 3rd time, it was something that definitely I was like, no, there's no way this is not covered. Like, something's not right here. So I did some research, and I was like, I found out the company was totally not legit. They were operating out of their home in New York, and then when I uncovered their non-legitimacy, they hurried up and refunded me my money because they didn't want any trouble, but I did report them. So, so be careful.
And I hate hearing horror stories about home warranty, because obviously it's my business, right? So I want people to have, whether it's with us or with another company, I want you to have a great experience.
Yeah.
But that's also where your rep comes in, because if your clients know nothing about home warranty, they're gonna, well, Trish, who do you trust? Who would you use? Who would you? And that's where I come in to build those relationships with my realtors and make sure that you have full faith and trust in me. Yeah. Because ultimately, that's who your clients. And
that's one of the things I tell them when they're choosing a home warranty is like, yeah, you might find another company out there you want to use, and by all means, buyer beware.
Right.
Do what you want to do, but at the same point in time, the companies that I have or that I work with, I know that are legitimate companies. They're not working out of their home in New York. So because I know that can happen, which is crazy. And it sounded, they had a basic name that sounded like a name you had heard of before. So it wasn't, it was just a similar, the internet's crazy. There's so much fraud out there. They catch people that way. So yeah. Right. So, all right. Well, Samantha, if anybody wants to contact you, how do they reach you?
Call me. Absolutely. Give me a call. I am, again, I answer. If I don't answer, it's because I'm doing something fun like this, but I will absolutely get back to you. You can text me, 702-420-8412. Call me, leave a voicemail, email, but I will absolutely get back to you.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's important.
It is important.
That's important. And if you need anything regarding what we're talking about today with Samantha, or you have any questions for me, you guys know how to reach me, 702-308-2878. Thank you for staying tuned to our show. And if you're watching a show right now, please take a minute, like us, comment, write us a review. Share it with your friends. We are definitely trying to get ourselves out there to everybody in the local community here in Vegas, and we appreciate you sending our show out and letting people know about us. You guys have a wonderful day. I will see you next week on Realty Check.